Good morning and welcome to Muresk here in the beautiful WA, where we're undertaking the Masterclass of community engagement.
When we first got told that this course was available, I thought, Masterclass? I'm no master. I need 101. I don't know how to do this community engagement stuff, but I actually, now that I'm here and I've been talking with people, I realise I've actually been doing it for a while, but I just didn't know that's what I was doing.
I think there's three things. Firstly, there was the time to reflect on ourselves and realise how far I've come from when I first started doing this work to where I am today, and there's been some big shifts in there for me.
Learning all the different tools that we can use. So we learned about the systems mapping, the reflecting, that was a big one for me that I probably don't do enough. The co-facilitating, all those sorts of different tools.
The second thing was the delivery of the course was at a pace where people could keep up and it wasn't too intense. So the presenters are great. So that was really important for me.
When you're learning in a group environment like this, you hear everyone else's questions and you think, gee, that's a good question. That's something I wouldn't have thought of. So the learning becomes much greater if you're all together.
Networking with all the other people in the engagement field, and it was just a great way in which you were able to, it wasn't just about teaching you, it was about getting your input as well. I found that a fantastic way to learn.
I think the biggest take home for me is through the networking and developing those personal relationships with other people that work in the space, you kind of realise that you're not alone. You know, you feel like you're not doing the right job or you're not doing it enough, and then you talk to other people and you realise they're in the same boat.
In the field, we tend to just go from one spot fire to another spot fire. We're always on the move, we're always just doing stuff as it goes. But to understand that planning process and understand the dynamics or the interactions behind the players and understand how those affect our decisions and how they can make us better facilitators.
To come together as a group of people dealing with invasive species from around the country, working on different species and sharing all of our stories and all of our concerns and just bouncing ideas off each other.
And the third thing was the people. All the presenters are great and the people are great, and particularly a couple of the presenters through the reflection process were able to set the tone and create a good energy in the room, which I thought was really important for people to be able to get into the space of learning and get out of their work mode.
All of the written information about community engagement, I found that really, really good. That's something that I've printed out and will keep probably forever.
The ability to get such a wide, diverse group of people from different invasive pests and weeds and different areas of government and non-government organisations and community groups together to talk about shared experience and how they relate to stories, and you know, a big word has been narrative.
And I was still a bit iffy, and he said, well, if you don't, camels in Australia multiply every 10 years, they multiply 100% basically. So the news went down.
And this particular masterclass, there's just such a huge wealth of information in the room. You know, everyone's got so many stories to tell and so much knowledge in different areas.
We grabbed the other 2.5 kilogram bag of rice, went up to the table and just went bang. And he said, if we do nothing, that's what your country is going to be like in 10 years' time. And their eyes just went bulged and their jaws dropped, and that was the buy-in. We got them. Got them.
The Masterclass at Muresk has been an enlightening experience. I've certainly enjoyed the past week. We've met a lot of very knowledgeable people. The narrative has been a real highlight for me. I think the stories and what people have shared with us and allowed us to really delve into their inner thinkings has been my highlight. Right. Super.
Excellent. Sweet. Brilliant.